Imagine you walk into a quiet room after a long, exhausting day, but instead of feeling relieved, you feel as if an invisible toxic fog is clinging to your mind. It is not because there is anything wrong with the room, but because a conversation, a look, or a single comment from someone has weighed you down in a way you cannot explain. Toxic people can show up in many forms. Some are never satisfied and always pick apart your flaws. Some like to plant doubt and leave you confused. Some like to drain your energy with endless complaints. And some simply carry so much chaos inside that they scatter it everywhere they go. Whoever they are, they all have one thing in common. They make you lose your own inner calm. Stoicism does not promise that the world will change to become more pleasant. Stoicism teaches you how to build an inner fortress strong enough that the poisonous winds of others cannot blow you over. Marcus Aurelius once reminded himself that you cannot control the words or actions of other people, but you can control how you respond to them. And the moment you understand this is the moment the power returns to you. In our journey today, we will walk through 13 wise ways of responding based on the spirit of the Stoic to deal with toxic people. Not with retaliation, not with anger, but with sharpness, clarity, and calm. These are not 13 tactics to defeat them. They are 13 ways to stop being controlled by them. Take a deep breath. Let us begin. Way 1, see the toxicity before it reaches you. Imagine you are standing at the gate that leads into your inner fortress. Inside is the calm and clarity that you have spent years building. And like every fortress, what causes it to fall is not always an army storming in with loud force. Sometimes it is a small figure approaching with a friendly smile while carrying poisonous arrows you do not recognize in time. Toxic people do not usually enter your life with intensity. They appear gently and sometimes even make you feel comfortable. But with just a few words or a few repeated behaviors, they make you begin to doubt yourself, feel inferior, or notice your energy draining without understanding why. Stoicism teaches that what hurts us is not the actions of others, but our mistaken interpretation of those actions. If you do not see the toxicity early, your mind will turn their words into truth and allow them to walk straight into your fortress. But if you recognize it from the beginning, you have already armed yourself with a shield. Pay attention to the small signals. A person who always criticizes no matter how much effort you make. A person who likes to create guilt. A person who makes the atmosphere heavy every time they appear. These signs are not random. They are warnings from your intuition. When you see them early, you do not need confrontation. You do not need strong reactions. You only need to stand firm and not let them take another step into your inner world. Way 2, fortify your inner wall with unbreakable boundaries. Imagine your inner fortress has not only a main gate, but also walls surrounding it. These walls are not made of bricks or stone. They are made of boundaries. Boundaries are how you tell the world that this is my sacred space. This is the limit no one has the right to cross. When facing toxic people, boundaries are the first and most important layer of defense. The unfortunate truth is that many people think setting boundaries is unkind. But in the Stoic spirit, setting boundaries is an act of reason. You do not build walls to punish anyone. You build walls to protect the peace your mind needs. Marcus Aurelius once reminded us that our mind becomes weaker every time we allow others to pull it in the direction they want. Boundaries are how you keep that control in your own hands. Begin by identifying what drains you. A person who constantly expects you to take responsibility for their emotions. A person who intrudes into your personal decisions. A person who always demands yet never listens. Once you are clear, express your boundary with calmness and respect. You can say, I need time to think, or I cannot join this conversation right now. There is no need for long explanations or reasons to convince them. Clarity is enough. And most importantly, you must stay consistent. A wall is only strong if it does not get chipped away every time someone knocks. When you hold your ground, the toxic person will be forced to stop at the line you have drawn. Way 3, become boring in the eyes of a toxic person through stillness. Toxic people do not simply want to speak, they want to see you react. They want your expression to change. They want your voice to rise. They want your emotions to shift. They need fuel, and that fuel is your reaction. When you get angry, they feel they have won. When you become defensive, they feel stronger. When you try to explain, they feel they have control over you. This is why the most effective way to neutralize them is not to fight back, but to become completely boring to them. Imagine you become a calm lake. Others can throw stones into it, but the surface only ripples for a moment and then returns to peace. This is the essence of the method often called gray rock. But from the Stoic perspective, it is not just a technique, it is the expression of self-mastery. When you stay neutral, brief, and emotionally steady, you show the toxic person that their fire cannot burn you. You do not need long replies, you do not need detailed explanations, you do not need to argue about what is right or wrong. You only need to respond with calmness. Simple phrases such as "I understand" or "let me think about it" will make them lose their emotional footing. They try to create drama, but you remain steady, refusing to be pulled into their storm. Your boredom is your strongest shield. When they no longer receive energy from you, they will look elsewhere to attach to, and you remain at peace like a guard who refuses to open the gate for unworthy knocks. Way 4, repeat your position like a broken record to cut off manipulation. There are people who do not attack you with anger, but with exhausting persistence. They repeat their requests, restate their opinions, and twist the conversation in many directions only to wear you down and make you give in. This is a very subtle form of manipulation. They do not need to win the argument. They only need you to be tired, and that is the moment you slip out of your own boundaries. In these situations, the most effective response is not to argue deeper, explain more, or try to clarify what is right and wrong. The most effective response is to become a broken record. Stoicism teaches that what is right should remain unchanged, and what goes against reason should not be allowed to pull your emotions. So when a toxic person pressures you to change your decision with their endless loop, answer them with your own loop. You only need one clear and reasonable statement. "I cannot agree to that. I have already stated my choice. I will not change my decision." Then repeat the exact same sentence with the exact same calm tone, no matter how they try to redirect the conversation. Do not argue further. Do not defend yourself. Do not allow yourself to be pulled into their whirlwind. Repetition works like a stone wall. When a toxic person bumps into that wall again and again without breaking through, they are forced to step back. You do not need to win with words. You win with firmness. And every time you repeat your position, you strengthen your inner fortress and remind yourself that no one has the right to erase the boundary you have drawn. Way 5, do not take the bait and escape the emotional trap. Toxic people often do not charge at you with direct actions. They are more subtle than that. They release vague comments, half-joking, half-insulting remarks, and intentional observations designed to make you uncomfortable. Their goal is not communication. Their goal is to see how you react. If you get angry, they have a reason to blame you. If you feel offended, they can continue to steer the conversation. If you try to prove your innocence, they have already taken control of the interaction. All of these are bait. And if you take the bait, you fall right into the net they have prepared. A Stoic understands that some words are like fishing hooks. They only become dangerous when you place your mind on them. Epictetus once said that no one can insult you unless you give them the power to do so. This means you can see the bait without taking it. You can hear a sharp comment without returning another sharp comment. You can remain silent or respond with neutrality, or simply ignore it without letting your mind be triggered. View these provoking remarks as a hook being dropped into the water. You can see it clearly, but you are not a mindless fish. You are the one holding the paddle and deciding where you go. When you refuse to bite, you render their intentions useless. The bait floats away without meaning, while you remain calm and in control. Way 6, the power of not reacting. There are people who use words as weapons. They throw at you attacking comments, sarcastic remarks, or loaded statements just to see you lose your composure. For them, the goal is not to understand you, but to make you react the way they want. If you get angry, they see it as proof that you are weak. If you try to argue, they see it as victory. And if you become defensive, they believe they have found your vulnerable spot. But what they never prepare for is your silence. In the Stoic spirit, not reacting is not losing. Not reacting is refusing to enter the battle they want you to fight. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself that a person can only insult you when your mind agrees with them. Therefore, when you remain silent, you keep the power on your side. Imagine a warrior standing in the arena, faced with someone trying to provoke him. But instead of striking back, the warrior simply stands firm, calm, and unmoved by the other's words. The moment you do not respond, the chain of reactions the toxic person expects is broken. Their rhythm of attack becomes misplaced. Their anger dissolves into the space between you. Your silence is not empty. It is a declaration that you are not driven by someone else's emotions. It is a statement that you will not be pulled down to the level they want. And most importantly, it is how you protect your own peace without offering a single justification. Way 7. Limit contact to protect your mental energy. You cannot always completely avoid toxic people. Some are within your family, some are co-workers you must see every day, and some appear in environments you cannot leave. But Stoicism reminds you that what you cannot control is their presence. What you can control is the distance you choose to keep. Imagine your mind as a bright and quiet room. No one has the right to enter unless you allow it. Limiting contact is not avoidance or weakness. It is protecting your mental space. If you must interact with them, keep conversations short, clear, and neutral. Do not share personal matters, and do not open the door for them to step deeper into your emotional world. You can remain present without letting them reach the deepest part of you. Stoicism teaches that the mind is like a garden. When you reduce the presence of those who carry negative energy, you give your garden more light and air to recover. Limiting contact is not rejection of others. It is prioritizing the peace you deserve. Way 8. Build a support system as a shield for your mind. No matter how strong you are, no one is meant to face toxic people alone. Every strong fortress has allies guarding it, and your inner world needs such people too. A support system is not dependence. It is where you restore balance when negative encounters wear down your spirit. A thoughtful friend, a kind coworker, a family member who listens, or even a community that shares your values can become your mental shield. A single honest conversation is sometimes enough to remind you that you are not wrong, not weak, and not alone. The presence of positive people helps you recalibrate your emotions and see your true worth clearly. Stoicism teaches that we become like the people we stay close to. When you choose those who lift you up instead of those who pull you down, you are not only resisting the toxicity of others, you are also strengthening the best part of yourself. This is how you build a protective circle so that no one can easily harm your inner peace. Way 9. Prioritize self-care to keep your inner strength intact. Being around toxic people is like standing in a cold, harsh wind. No matter how strong you are, that coldness silently drains your inner energy. Therefore, self-care is not a luxury. It is a part of the mental discipline that Stoicism emphasizes. You cannot remain calm when your mind is exhausted. You cannot stay rational when your body's always tired. And you cannot guard your inner fortress when the gatekeeper is worn out. Give yourself time to recover after interactions that weigh down your mind. A walk under the sun, a few minutes of deep breathing, a warm cup of tea, or a quiet space to return to yourself. These small things are the fuel that helps you stand stronger in the face of negative energy. Create mental breathing room so your mind can rest. Disconnect for a while, limit unnecessary conversations, and prioritize activities that make you feel lighter. Self-care is not selfish. It is how you prevent your inner strength from being drained. When you are full from within, no one can easily shake you. Way 10. Remember that their toxicity does not reflect your value. Toxic people have a particular habit. They throw their own darkness onto anyone standing near them. Their criticism is often their insecurity. Their disdain is their fear of having their weaknesses exposed. Their anger is the battle they are losing inside themselves. But if you are not mindful, you may mistakenly believe that what they say is the truth about you. This is how toxicity works. It makes you carry burdens that are not yours. Stoicism teaches that you only suffer when you allow someone's words to enter your mind. Marcus Aurelius wrote that if someone insults you, remember that they are speaking from their own perspective, and that perspective may be distorted. Therefore, when someone belittles you, pause for a moment and ask yourself, is this true? Or is it simply their emotion looking for a place to land? Imagine a dark cloud passing in front of the sun. It may cast a shadow on the ground, but the nature of the ground remains unchanged. In the same way, toxic words may make you feel heavy for a moment, but they cannot alter your true worth unless you allow them to cling to you. When you understand that their toxicity is not a reflection of who you are, but of who they are, you stop carrying it. You do not need to change yourself to please them. You do not need to adjust to fit their distortion. You only need to remain calm and continue living according to the values you believe in. Way 11, do not try to fix them because it is not your responsibility. When you face a toxic person, many people naturally want to explain, persuade, or even save them from their own chaos. But that is a subtle trap. You cannot fix someone who does not want to change. You cannot heal wounds they intentionally hide. Stoicism reminds us that each person is responsible for their own mind and their own actions. When you try to fix them, you are stepping into a garden that does not belong to you. Imagine seeing a garden full of weeds. You can offer them good seeds, helpful advice, or kindness. But if they do not want to tend to that garden, every effort you make becomes meaningless. Worse, you will exhaust yourself trying to do work that is not yours to do. The best thing you can do is hold on to your own virtue and be an example of clarity and calm. If they truly want to change, they will walk on their own. If they do not, your task is to let go of that responsibility and protect your own peace. Way 12, know when to walk away to protect your mind. There are relationships in which you have done everything you could. You have stayed calm, you have set boundaries, you have been patient, you have chosen not to react, you have reduced your contact. But no matter what you do, the other person continues to spread toxicity. Sometimes the problem is not how you respond, but the nature of the relationship itself. And in those moments, walking away is not running away. Walking away is an act of someone who understands the value of inner peace. Stoicism does not teach you to hold on to things that destroy your inner world. Marcus Aurelius reminded us that life is too short to waste on what does not align with what is good in your nature. When someone repeatedly harms your spirit, when they do not respect your boundaries, when they make you smaller, weaker, or doubtful of your own worth, then walking away is an act of respect for yourself. Imagine standing in a room full of smoke. You can open the window, you can try to push the smoke away, you can endure it for a while. But if the smoke keeps filling the room, the only way to protect your lungs is to step outside. Sometimes your mind needs that same choice. You do not need a dramatic breakup or harsh final words. Walking away can simply mean keeping your distance, reducing contact, or stopping emotional investment in that relationship. The most important thing is to understand that you are not walking away because you are weak. You are walking away because you are strong enough to stop accepting what harms you. And in that departure, you reclaim the mental freedom you deserve. Way 13, forgive yourself to release the final burden. After going through all the ways of dealing with toxic people, many still feel heavy not because of the other person, but because of themselves. You blame yourself for enduring too long, for not walking away sooner, for reacting in ways that hurt you. But in the Stoic spirit, this self-blame only makes you carry an invisible stone that weighs down your path without giving you anything in return. Forgiving yourself is the final step toward freeing your inner world. You reacted the way you could with the understanding you had at that moment. You have learned from your mistakes, you have seen the toxicity more clearly, and you have become stronger because of those experiences. No one grows without scars, and you do not need to be perfect to deserve peace. Imagine setting down a backpack filled with all your self-criticism, and your shoulders become lighter instantly. Forgiveness does not erase the memories, but it removes the power of the past. When you release that burden, you walk forward more lightly, more steadily, and more freely. When you look back at the 13 ways you have explored, you will see that true strength does not lie in making a toxic person change, but in making them unable to hurt you anymore. You do not need their apology to find peace. You do not need their approval to feel whole. The only thing you need is the ability to govern your own inner world. A toxic person may carry cold winds, sharp words, or unpredictable behaviors, but they cannot enter your inner world unless you open the door. From here on, you walk forward like a watchful guardian of your inner fortress. You recognize from afar, you set clear boundaries, you refuse to react the way they expect, and you walk away when necessary. This is not just strategy, this is strength. If this video brings you clarity or newfound strength to handle difficult relationships, leave a small sign so I know you are growing along this journey. Click like to help this message reach those who are hurting. Click subscribe to continue learning the Stoic lessons that help you live steadier and more peacefully each day. And before you go, comment a sentence as a promise to your own heart. I protect my peace. Because the moment you write those words, you affirm that your peace no longer depends on anyone else, but rests entirely in your own hands.